going to talk about something so simple
and sometimes complicated.
Yes.
And today's topic is
Complicated. Yeah. We already had one babble where we talked about body positivity, and this somewhat continues that topic.
Well, somehow, we did promise to get deeper into that topic, and this is one. Well, can we call it a subtopic?
Well, we could. We're digging deeper.
It kind of is. But kind of.
Yeah. Today's babble is going to be on beauty standards. How they came, why they came,
and how they actually influence our everyday life.
Yes.
And
why are we following them? And yes.
Because when we say why are we following them, it's mostly simple. Because they're the standard, they're the beauty standard, and there are some people that actually do want to be that standard.
Yes. But if you think about it, why exactly do we feel obligated to follow the standard? Yeah, because
we have actually been influenced since babies, since we were little, that we have to look in a particular way, act in a particular way, so you won't be kicked out of society almost. Though I do believe that nowadays we're very slowly, we're going far away from the beauty standard and the society norms.
Are we getting away from that, or are we just trying to change the standard so that the new thing becomes the new standard? Because as we know, throughout time, beauty standards have changed. They have evolved. What was considered beautiful, let's say in the 1950s, isn't actually considered beautiful Today you have to be with a curvy body, but still be kind of.
Actually, you can be with a curvy body and look good as long as you don't have a stomach.
Yeah, exactly.
This is actually one of the model standards for curvy girls.
It's like the hourglass shape, small waist, no tummy, but big hips, big booty, and big.
If you are like
chest.
on the curvy side and you have a stomach, still, yes, you're not that frowned upon as it was back in the 2000s, back in the 90s, let's say. Because I do remember that back in the 90s and the 2000s that you had to be slim.
Yeah.
Still, you have to have shape, but the shape was not as important as being slim was.
Yes.
And kind of changing the stereotypes and kind of changing the beauty standards is evolving on its own. Like,
yeah. We're trying something new.
Yeah, I do remember, I think it was in the 19th century, in the beginning, I think. If you didn't have, I think in England, correct me if I'm wrong though, if I'm wrong please correct me, you had to have a mole on your face.
Yeah, that's I think it was Trump. The Elizabethan era, I think, started it. You had to have very fair skin and a beauty mark. So either a mole or just a beauty mark.
But most of the time it was a mole because they were easier to make.
Yeah.
Because honestly, most of the people didn't have them. So they had to create a mole with a pencil or a special technique. How it's exactly the same thing that we're doing. Coming to think of it, exactly the same thing that we're doing today with the freckles.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have freckles, but it's beautiful to have them. Thank
And
God
so
that we
then-
have evolved to consider them beautiful. And so a lot of people create freckles on their faces.
Yeah. And yeah,
Have we, coming to think of it, have we evolved?
I don't think so. I'm. That's what I'm trying to tell you. My point of view is that it's just with times changing, different things are considered beautiful. Like as we said in the 2000s, let's say, consider as far as makeup went, you had to have super skinny eyebrows. Like most of them plucked all of their eyebrows and just draw this super straight.
We do
thin
remember that
line.
video though.
Yeah.
We do remember that video.
And right now, bushy eyebrows are.
It's not just bushy eyebrows, but it's eyebrows that you just comb through and you can actually see the hairs coming from above, which is better than having no brows, but still ugly to me.
So that's what I mean. It's just that when a different trend comes, that's what becomes considered beautiful.
Standard.
Yeah, and that's the standard, and everyone tries to be like that. But if you think about it, who created beauty standards?
We as a society create them, mostly.
Mostly, for me at least, mostly men do it.
Exactly. I was about to say exactly the same thing.
Because the big companies which profit out of you wanting to be, to look a certain way, most of the companies
are owned by men.
Are owned by men, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, right now, today, the beauty standards are so unattainable without having to. I mean, naturally, you cannot.
No.
You cannot be considered beautiful by the trend, by the beauty standard. Actually, unless you do little tweaks, unless you have, let's say,
plastic surgery, botox, fillers,
and makeup, so much makeup.
And we do wear makeup as well to fit in like the beauty standard because.
But but that's just in front of a camera. I mean, the two of us when we go out.
No makeup.
Very, very rarely do we wear makeup. Even me, you know me, the only thing I do is fill in my brows because they cannot be seen from afar. They're just non-existent without me filling them. And so,
guys, if you want to know what she actually means, watch our previous videos. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, but I don't remember in which video we said it.
They'll watch all of them.
So watch all of the videos so you can find out where I'm talking about my brows, but
yeah, of course I do understand. So, but this is not like for beauty standard, kind of, but this is for your own personal comfort. Because let's be honest, if you go out and you haven't filled in your eyebrows, will you be comfortable?
Well, personally for me, I wouldn't care. I only care because I've been told I have to do that.
So
if
you
no
have
one
been influenced by other people's opinion. Let me assume that most of them were male.
No, it was my mother.
Okay.
It was my mother. And other people as well.
Oh.
But yeah, basically, if it was only up to me, I wouldn't care as much. I mean, I didn't care when I was little. I mean,
but you do grow up and you strive to do something in your life. Come on, let's be honest. We kind of even unconsciously strive to find a partner, to find a relationship. Would you be okay? I mean, this is one of the things that you might have changed for yourself subconsciously to attract.
Well,
because let's face it, as we mentioned, most beauty trendsetters, our company is owned by men, and they have put this perfect vision of a woman in a man's head as well. That hasn't changed. That will never change.
well, yeah, but still, I mean, you can't wear makeup all of the time, even when you have a relationship. So,
it's better to be natural.
It's better to be natural, and even I mean, in my case with my eyebrows especially, I mean, you know how I used to do them 2 years ago, and how I do them now. Even now, you can still see my eyebrows. I mean,
it's not that they're non-existent.
Yes, it's just that from afar you can't see them. But even now, if I get rid of everything, it wouldn't be that big of a difference.
Yeah, true. But this is one thing that I liked, I think a few years back. Alicia Keys was one of those people, still is, that she tried to promote and tried to set the standard of actually no makeup to be like one of the beauty standards.
Well, yeah, but even now we've seen the no makeup trends, and even then you're wearing makeup.
That's true. No, I mean
the true no makeup trend
no makeup.
Is like you and like me.
Yeah, but what I meant that she tried to do is all natural, basically no makeup. But then there were the procedures of her skin looking beautiful, like cosmetics, still used. I don't think she used surgery, but she mentioned that she goes to fill up.
So Botox, basically.
Sometimes, yeah. So still no makeup, actually no makeup, but still she tried to keep up with the trend of having the perfect skin without having actually makeup.
Yeah.
Still, this is a trend, and this is standard on its own.
Yeah, and this is what bugs me, because we're human beings, and very, very rarely is there really a person born and he doesn't have any pimples, he doesn't have any, basically doesn't have anything on his face. It's just clear skin without using anything. I mean, my face was like that probably, let's say, 3 years ago. And my condition and the pills that I'm taking every day for the past 8 years now, and yeah, just something happened, and all of a sudden I started getting all of these
breakages,
outbreaks, on my face, and it was, and even now you see me, I don't try to cover them up. I mean, I've asked you maybe once, I think, whether they're very visible. Yeah, but even then, whatever the answer you gave me, it wouldn't have made me want to put on foundation, let's say, every day, so that I can look like I don't have anything.
That's true, but actually, today I started watching this K-drama, and it was exactly what we're talking about right now, because we know that Asian beauty standards are just way too high. Honestly speaking, the US beauty standards and our beauty standards are kind of reachable, easily reachable, even just with makeup, but the Asian ones are like way ahead. What the drama was about is that the plastic surgeons have become so much concentrated in just one street that they just created their own survey of the perfect face. Not just the perfect body, the perfect face. And there was this group of 4 girls sitting on a table, and they were talking about plastic surgery, how to look up to the standards. And one had a chin surgery, the other one had a nose job, and the other one had a lid job, and the fourth one was actually thinking about like pulling her skin so she can look up to the standards. And then a girl walked in and she looked perfect, but then the plot twist is that she is a creation of, I believe it was 20 plastic surgeries, but they consider her perfect because they thought that she had no plastic surgery, and in reality she had
20 procedures.
20 procedures, and to make her up to the standards and to make her the 100% Korean beauty standard. And honestly speaking, it's spreading all over Asia, and we all know that their beauty standards are way too high. Some are achieved mostly with plastic surgery. And this is the same way that we as well do it. Like, we strive for the perfection that has been imposed on us by society, with Botox, with all fillers, with makeup, with beauty procedures.
Well, yeah, but still, I mean, I don't have anything against that. I mean, it's your body, do what you want with it.
Of course.
But why? The whole question is
to be accepted.
Just why? And what does that mean? That if you don't have any procedures you don't wear that much makeup, so what? You're ugly?
Basically, that's what society tells you. That's what society wants you to think. So you can buy their product, you can do their procedures, you can just fit into their own category, so you won't have to feel ugly.
Okay, but let's say you don't do any of that, but you still feel that you're beautiful because you are, and what you have to every day remind yourself of that, because constantly when you go out there will be people staring, there will be people talking, and
that is the issue with the society that it has been. But because, as I mentioned, nowadays we're embracing more and more the different types of people, the different types of situations, the different looking people.
Well, yeah, but
still there are some standards, but it's getting more and more acceptable.
Yes, that's true, but that's exactly the whole question.
Why do we have it in the first place?
Why do we have it in the first place? Yeah, and it's not something that has happened now. It's something that has happened for many
centuries.
Centuries.
Yeah.
It's like, actually, if you think about it, it's kind of off topic, but what do we actually want in life? It's like we have feminism because we want to have rights and be seen as equal to men, but
I don't think that. I know that a lot of people are going to hate me.
Sorry.
A lot of people are going to hate me for what I'm going to say, but I don't think that nowadays we haven't. Generations of women before us haven't conquered for us the right to be equal.
Yes, because there are still places where men are considered
better than women.
Women, yeah.
In the business world especially, this is still ongoing. I do believe that in the business world we do need feminism, but in our everyday life, if we put aside the business part, like the CEOs of companies and so on and so forth, we have equality. And sometimes in our everyday life, we don't just have equality, women are higher than men.
Yeah.
And society has accepted that.
Yeah. If we can just, I think, this table.
Poor table.
Yeah.
Is it going to survive?
We don't know, but yeah, it's just that we want so many different things, and actually, when you want one thing and you achieve it, and then it's like you're never satisfied. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always going to be something that you would want to change, and even if, let's say, the things that society wants right now, if they get changed, they won't be satisfied. They will continue wanting to change something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, if we want to get back on topic with the beauty standards, I actually remembered that in the beginning, let's say the end of last century, the 1990s, let's say, when the dolls became popular and they became the
perfect looking and the beauty standard.
The beauty standard with somewhat of a small face, a small nose, big eyes.
And if you don't remember when those Barbies were popular, I don't know if you remember, but I do know that a lot of people got plastic surgery to actually look like Barbie, the beauty standard, and you grew up with them, we grew up with them, and this is what the perfect image in our head is for the beauty standard, and this is what we think that we should look like, and this is something that we have been brainwashed to think, if I may say brainwashed.
Yes, exactly.
And let's not forget again, I don't want to sound sexist, but the founder of Barbie is male.
Yes,
and actually with Barbie dolls, even Ken has this, you know, the Ken the doll has the same beauty standard, abs,
for the men,
perfect looking skin, and even nowadays, we have changed our beauty standards, and even Barbies have evolved. But if you look at it, Ken stays the same.
Yeah.
So we did change the beauty standards for women and for Barbie female dolls, but the beauty standard for men and males hasn't changed.
If you think about it, does it need to change though? I mean, you don't hear anyone complaining about it.
True.
It's mostly us women that complain because
we're women.
We're women, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, even if you look at it, men who aren't by the beauty standard as much for them, they don't care.
Well, not
most of them.
Yes.
I mean,
I was about to say not all of them.
There are always people that care about their looks, but most of them don't. And it's more common with us women to care more about these things.
Because we are more... So, coming to think of it, women are more competitive by nature. I don't know why though. And we compare each other one to another, and let's say that you have something that you have a nose, let's say, that another woman would find very good looking, and she would strive to like make it that one, or you have eyes like that another woman prefers. She'd buy contacts to change, to compete, kind of. And this is one of the things that has maybe changed the game of standards, Because we keep on finding conventional stuff, like everyday stuff, everyday looks, more and more better looking and more attractive than we did before.
Yes, yes. I get it. And at the same time,
you don't get it.
I don't see the logic in it. But yes,
I agree with you.
We do have a more competitive side. I mean, even when I look at my sister, let's say, and I think of, I would have loved if my hair was as curly as hers, or I would have loved if I would have stayed with a flat stomach like she has. But still, with me particularly, it's not like competitive. It's just like I like that. I like what I see.
You have created your own beauty standards, and you think that, let's say for example.
Well, yeah, but it's not in my head. It's not like I want to look specifically like her.
Yeah.
It's something like I just wished my hair wasn't straight, and which is achievable. I mean, I could curl it, or I wish that I would have had a flat stomach, which again is achievable if I work out after
And this is something that we have always I have always thought on, is that you have something, let's say with the hair, you have a straight hair and you would like it to be curly, naturally of course, but you cannot do it, so you can curl your hair. Then then there are women that have curlier hair and they would like to have a straight hair,
which again is achievable,
but still it's not natural. And this is something that has always stayed in my mind. Why do we want something that we naturally don't have, but we like, and we want to have it?
Because you don't have it.
But then when you get it, let's say for example, you curl your hair, you do it once, twice, you do it for a longer period of time, and then you just get tired and you say, I want my old hair.
And then you have your old hair.
And then you have your old hair. But then you see someone with a curly hair and you say, I used to do it, I want to do it. And I want to have it naturally without having
but
the effort.
But for me, this is kind of, let's say, on the healthier side. I mean, it's not like you're going out and you're saying, oh, she has this nose, I want this nose, and you start looking for ways to spend the money that you don't have, so you can get that nose.
This is like way too much.
That's my point. I mean, it's, for me at least, it's okay to want to change something, but as long as it doesn't involve surgery or
basically someone else doing something.
Yeah, and permanently changing something.
Do you?
I mean, even for me, if I want to have curly hair, there are ways today that they can curl it and it will stay curly for, let's say, 1-2 weeks, 3 weeks. I mean, and then it's going to get back to my normal hair. And it's not that expensive, but
do you actually think that we should have beauty standards? Gender, gender does not matter.
Yeah, after our whole conversation, I think that it's inevitable. So it doesn't matter how things changed along the line up till now. It is inevitable, and it would have been, it would have happened. You will always have beauty standards, but the thing is that you shouldn't, for me at least, you shouldn't deem something ugly just because it doesn't
fit into the category.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like what you see in movies or or in commercials or even on Instagram, because as we know and as we've talked about in, I think it was our body positivity podcast, even on social media, right? Today, in this day and age, you can Photoshop pictures, you can Photoshop videos.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, most of the time, if someone has a large following, let's say on Instagram, most of the time, there are very little people which have big followings and really don't edit their pictures whatsoever. And I don't mean edit like change the lighting or change the background or something like that. I mean change your body shape, because even influencers, they feel the need to fit into that body standard of...
Well, coming to think of it, even influencers are actually the people that put those standards.
Yeah, and they all look the same. I mean, would you really be happy in a world where you go outside and every man looks the same and every woman looks the same? I mean exactly the same.
That would be creepy.
My point exactly. And that's why I think that natural beauty and the way that you were born is more beautiful than what you will achieve with plastic surgery, fillers or Botox or everything. And if you think about it, these procedures were actually invented for women of age, let's say, after 40, after 50 years old, just so
they can feel better for themselves.
Yeah, they could feel better for themselves. Even today, there's this surgery with which you can achieve with which you can achieve the fox eye. It's basically they cut here, they put a string and they lift it, and that surgery specifically was actually invented for women who had very, very hooded eyes after their 40s, their 50s, and they basically couldn't see. And so that's when that's when it becomes necessary.
One thing is to do a plastic surgery because you have to, in order to make your life easier. I mean, to see basically.
Yeah, and the other thing is just so you can look the part on the internet. I mean, plastic surgeons nowadays say that, especially for that procedure, it was, as I told you before, needed for 40, 50 year old women and above that age. Right now, their clients are under 30, under 30.
Actually, this is the people that have been actually influenced by and have allowed themselves to listen to the negative side of the
Yes, beauty. Exactly. I mean, I have a double chin, and I don't care about this. I don't care about that. I have some pimples here and there. I have some outbreaks, but I know that if I get better health-wise, they're going to disappear. And so I'm working on the problem itself. Not thinking about right now changing the way my skin looks, because that's just covering up the bigger picture.
And I agree with you, but then you're looking at it from your perspective, which is absolutely normal. But there are some people that actually don't have health issues, but still get pimples, still cannot lose weight, or still cannot fit into the beauty standard. Because they are healthy, they're doing everything that they can. Should we deem them, though, ugly?
No, I don't think so. Because
I believe that we as a society, first of all, we can try to strive to change the beauty standard, but first and foremost we'll have to try to change our thinking of
yes,
our way of thinking.
Our way of thinking, yeah, exactly. Because if you see someone, let's say, because I'm not saying that influencers and celebrities and whatnot, they are beautiful. They really are beautiful, but it's just that they are in
the trendsetters. They're the people that set up this
they're in that industry. I mean, they are. All eyes are on them. I mean, they kind of have to look perfect, but it's for me it's wrong when everyday people which aren't in the spotlight try to look like that. Because
and this is why I actually mentioned that I loved the thing that Alicia Keys tried to do. She tried to show the other side of the beauty standard, like the natural side, the one that doesn't require tons of makeup, and God forbid you ever have texture on your face with the makeup on. This is what I liked about her. This is what I loved that she tried to do. It's sad that she wasn't able to do it 100%, because there are some people like well, we all know her. She's very famous, Double K, and even if there's like a photo of her with cellulite, that's forbidden. That's not real. That's faked. That's made up because it doesn't have Photoshop on it. And
the whole family is like that.
True.
The whole family is like that. True. And that's exactly.
And they are bigger beauty standard setters than a person like Alicia Keys that actually tries to be natural. And the reason for that is because people, I believe, my personal belief is that most of the herd is inclined to believe that perfection is beautiful and being imperfect is ugly.
Well, for me at least, that is because in our subconscious we know that everything has to be perfect, and symmetrical and everything, but the reality is that no one can be perfect, and no, that's actually wrong. You are perfect
in your own way.
Yeah. And for yourself. And if the mass doesn't like that, that doesn't mean that everyone doesn't like it. I mean, there will be people that would like you. I mean, even in our case, let's say, because we are trying to find a partner, let's say, there will be men that will like you for who you are, with makeup, without makeup, with your personality, and even without knowing your personality. I mean, there will be people that will find you attractive, and there will be people that will not find you attractive, and that's the way it is.
That's the natural. That's the natural order and the natural thing. But as I said, if you noticed that I used the word hurt, I didn't use people, because most of the humans that try to tend to follow the perfect beauty standards, for me, don't have their own way of thinking. Well, I know that I'll get a lot of hate for this, but they don't have their own way of thinking. They think and do what has been told. They cannot get outside of the box that they've allowed someone to put them in.
Yes, exactly.
And this is the sad part of our society, and this is why I like...
No, actually, the sad part is that there are people that are trying to make everyone like that. That's the sad part, for me at least.
But the good thing is that a lot more, if you haven't noticed, that a lot more people are breaking out of their boxes.
Yeah.
And they're looking at the world with fresh set of eyes, with and they start to develop their own way of thinking, their own way of communicating, their own way of beauty standards. They are just their own.
Yeah, exactly.
Personality.
Exactly.
And I believe that.
Yeah, that we've said what we could for today. I mean, we are going to continue digging deeper because we still have to find the real problem. Yeah. We're still at the surface, but
true. I was actually going to say that I have belief that society will get better with each step.
Yes, exactly. Baby steps and time. Yeah. And yes, and we hope you enjoyed today's babble.
Tell us your opinion. Do you think that maybe there should be beauty standards? What should they be? Basically share with us what you thought of what we said.
Yes.
Like, of course, share.
Subscribe to the podcast. Our social media will be linked down below. And go and check out our previous podcasts.
And you'll figure a lot about us.
Yeah.
And what we've previously talked about, which we covered.
Our thought process, basically.
Yeah.
Which I think is controversial, but...
Well, as much as we're deep, we're simple as well.
Yeah. and we'll see you babblers next time. Bye.
Bye.